How you doing today? Welcome, fam. What's going on? Taking a lunch break. It's kind of late for lunch break, right? Taking a dinner break. I'm here till 11. What's up, Nick? What's up, bro? Clinicals is always a good time. I know it can be stressful though. Right here at the hospital I'm at traveling, I seen like probably like 10 students, dude. This is a big hospital. They're always in the OR doing portables. It's so big that they even have their own personal x-ray room in the ER. That's how busy it is. But yeah, I went from working at a freestanding ER where I didn't work as much to coming to, it's not a trauma center, but it's busy. You know what I'm saying? It's busy enough to be a trauma center. The OR is a whole different animal, bro. It depends what surgeon you got, depends what case you're doing. The OR is, it can be tough. It's doable though. Most techs don't like going to the OR because, like surgeons could be mean, bro, you know? So surgeons make the OR hard. It's not OR itself. And the C arm's pretty easy to manipulate when you rainbow it, and underdo it and angle it. It's all about how the doctor treats you when it comes down to OR. But I'm sure you already asked, but if you ask most of your techs that are with you, we're like, hey, do you like going to the OR? I bet you a lot of people are like, nah, we don't like going to the OR. Just one of those things, bro. Either you love it or you hate it. But, you're a student, man, so learn to love everything. But this hospital is nice, man. I like it. Like I said, it's busy. So I get a little bit of the morning shift from 12:30 to 4. And then around 4:30, 5 o'clock, the night shift or evening shift, people come in. And it's good. It's steady, not too crazy busy. But it can get busy. We get a lot of strokes. So we do a lot of perfusion CT studies, a lot of angio brain and necks. So we stay busy. But it's good. It's nice. If you're new on here and you're thinking about going for x-ray radiology, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Watch the videos. It's a free game, And I helped a lot of techs get into school, get out of school, get through school. The whole program is tough. It's tough to get in. It's tough to complete it, But if you want it bad enough, you can do it. It's no big deal. But it's just whenever you go to a big hospital, to a hospital like this has a good size and go to like a smaller hospital, the difference in studies they order, the difference in people, how they treat other people or techs is busy. It's different. But yeah, man, welcome. Subscribe to the channel, watch the videos. If you have any questions, let me know while I'm here. Sometimes when I leave the questions on the video, it's hard to get there. It's hard to get to all of them. What's up, C? Good, man. Blessed. Working, traveling, making money. Can't complain. How y'all doing today? Oh, that's good, Nick. That means that you're getting good exposure. If you can work at a trauma center, bro, you can work anywhere. Because nothing gets more busier than the trauma center and the images that you do in the trauma center. As far as like, you got to be creative and you got to be thinking outside the box when you work in trauma. Because you know, every patient goes in there is not going to be able to move. They're going to be able to do the proper views you need. So you got to improvise. So if you can work in a trauma center, you can work anywhere. I've worked at a trauma center before, and it's very, very busy. Very busy. But X-ray school is cool, man. X-ray school is nice. It's a tough program, like I said, but being an X-ray, you have so many different avenues you can go to. You can do general X-ray, you can go to CT, you can go to MRI, you can do radiation therapy, you can do nuclear medicine, you can do even ultrasound if you wanted, CAT scan. There's a few avenues you can do. But yeah, it is competitive. It is very competitive to get in. And it depends where you go. If you go to a state college, then yeah, it's gonna be competitive because, I think they accept like 20 students, and you're trying to for 100 applicants, and it's hard to get in. If you go to a private school, you don't have to compete with anybody. You just go straight in. So it all depends what school you go to. In Florida, we have Kaiser University. We have Cambridge Institute in South Florida. There's a lot of different colleges you can go to, you know. Um, so yeah, man, but you have to learn how to stand out from applicants. And one of those ways you can stand out is working in the medical profession. Um, working in the medical profession in anything. Also, in bigger hospitals like they have here, we have CT. They're called CT. They're not CT techs, but they're CT aides. So basically, they're transporters slash aides. So what they do is that they go get your patient from the ER. They come to CT. They load the patient on the table. They load the contrast for you. The only thing they cannot do is press buttons. So if you get in one of those jobs and get that kind of experience, colleges look at that. They're like, oh, they have medical experience. That helps. Don't ever think that just because you got good grades that you're gonna get in. It takes a lot more than that. Yeah, the private schools are more expensive for sure. But honestly, man, like for instance, Kaiser University in Florida, the radiology program is only 16 months. So in 16 months, yeah, you're gonna be $40,000 in debt. But after a year to 6 months, you can travel, and you can make 60,000 in like 6 months. So you can pay it off, man, as long as you're smart with your money. What's up, Nick? Yeah, man, CT is probably the best one to do because CT and X-ray go hand in hand. So basically, there's more options. So if you're CT certified and X-ray, you can work at freestanding ERs. Freestanding ERs are so easy to work at, but you have to be CT licensed and X-ray licensed. But they're gravy, bro. So CT is the best one to get first, and then after that, you can adventure into MRI or anything else you would like. But CT is the best one to get. Kelly Ray, how you doing? Hey, thank you so much for the love and support, man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the support for watching my videos and my channel. I try to drop more videos, but it's like I'm always busy, man. With the travel gigs, and when I'm home, I want to spend time with my kids and my wife, man. So I can't always drop videos, but I try to. If y'all stay tuned, man, I'm working on some digital products I'm trying to get out there for you guys because I always get the same question, and I want to make it easier for you, man, when you start school and when you start, the program and how to get into the program, and once you get into the program, how to handle a full-time program and work. So I'm coming up with some PDFs and some digital products for people that are interested in it. I've been doing this for so long, and while going to school, I managed to get my bachelor's, CT. If you've been following my page enough, I'm a barber too, so I managed to have a full-time job and become a barber. So if you want it, man, it's out there. So I'm gonna create those for you guys, and if you're interested, you can purchase them. No, N's one. No, I'm not saying that males don't do DEXA scans, but DEXA. Sorry for the delay. Can you hear me now? So, sonography can be good for introverts. Sorry, I don't know if y'all can hear me now. I think somebody tried to call me, that's why. But sonography can be good for introverts because when you become a sonographer, you actually go to the patients. They don't always come to you unless they're outpatient. So even if it's an ER or an inpatient, you take your machine and you go do the ultrasound. So you know it could be good for introverts. But if you go for X-ray and you work overnight, you work by yourself. So that's you can't get no more introvert than that. So either one is good. But hi, peace, welcome. What's up, Tim? How you doing? Um, yeah, bro, they can. OR shifts can be rough. Cause like I said, OR is just it just depends on the surgeon, man. What surgeon's on, what exam you're doing, what procedure you're doing. Um, if you ask, 10 techs, do you like the OR? At least seven is gonna be like, nah, we don't like the OR. Everybody makes excuses, but some people are like, oh, it's so boring or whatever. Shit, you could pay me. I mean, sorry, you could pay me to be bored. It's not the fact that they're bored. It's not the fact that they're sitting down. It's the fact that the surgeons yell at them and make them feel stupid. And surgeons could be mean. So, when you're in the OR, bro, it builds up anxiety. So, yeah, it can. You know what I mean? And, yeah, ORs can be tough. Um, but radiology isn't for everybody, man. So don't think, you have to go for radiology because TikTok is making it cool for whatever reason. Because it's not always fun. You have your bad days, you have your good days, but it's not a perfect career, but it's a good career. You're gonna get paid well. But there's other careers out there, man. You can look into. You can look into nursing. You can look into physical therapy, assistant, occupational therapy. There's a lot of things you can look into. It don't have to be radiology. And the cool thing about nursing is the fact that nursing has so many different opportunities that you can work at. You know, Nurses can work from home. Nurses can work, in hospitals, imaging centers. They can work at home health. They can work at schools. And radiology, you can only work where there's an imaging machine at. You know, so those are things to think about whenever you're picking a career. The opportunities that it brings to you. You know, and the thing about radiology is that you're around radiation all the time. Like, yeah, we wear a badge and it tells us how much radiation we're getting, but at the end of the day, you're still getting radiation. So you have to be okay with that. So if you pick radiology, you have to be okay that you're gonna get radiated. It comes with it, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. And one, yeah, DEXA scans. Usually we don't do them as males or regular tech. If you're a mammal tech, which they do breast, of course. So if you're a mammal tech, usually the mammal tech does a DEXA scan as well. So a mammal and a DEXA are like kind of hand in hand studies, I guess you can say. But that's not a regular. Hi, Cecilia. X-ray can be stressful, dude. Depends where you work. Right now I'm in it's not a trauma center, but it's a very, very busy hospital. And, we average 150 CT scans a day. I can just imagine how many X-rays they average a day. And it can be very stressful. So yeah, it can. Depends where you work. I just left the freestanding ER. Freestanding ERs are gravy, dude. Well, the one I left was gravy. I only did like 4 or 5 patients a day, so there was no stress involved. But when you work in hospitals, you have sicker patients, so it can be. I mean, PACS is good. There's things that are called PACS administrators. They usually typically have to be a RT and a little bit of IT experience, but you can be a PACS administrator, and they average like 90 to 110K a year. it's a good career. No patient care. It's just making sure that the PACS work smoothly. If there's a image that got lost, you got to go find it. You know. Other than that, it's not bad. PACS is cool. I'm not an IT guy, so I can't really do PACS. And when you're PACS, it's kind of like you're like a semi like radiologist in a way, because radiologist looks at the images to diagnose for patient care, and PACS looks at the computer all day to diagnose, you know, images care. You know, if that makes any kind of sense. So you're staring at a screen all day. If you like that, then yeah, go for it. I already do X-ray and CT. I think I'm capped out, to be honest, Cecilia. I think I don't want to do MRI. MRI is too stressful. They're too much on call. The patients are too much of like the patients are claustrophobic, so you have to stop the exam here and there. Um, so I think I'm good, to be honest. So when you do PACS, you have to be an X-ray tech first for PACS. You have to be X-ray tech first, and then you can get trained on a job to be a PACS administrator. And then they take another registry to be a PACS administrator, and that's how you become PACS administrator. But once you become a PACS administrator, that's all you do. You don't do X-rays or anything else. Your job is to make sure that PACS is working correctly and efficiently. That's it. Kelly Ray, definitely interesting in those PDFs, bro. Starting rad tech school in August. I saw your video short about AI and radiology. I've heard some chatter, text eventually being replaced. Don't ever. And thank you for that PDFs, bro. Once I get them out, I'll let y'all know. Um, but no, man. I mean, the amount of work that we do, how we push patients, how we angle patients, all the patient care that we do, bro. AI can't do what we do. They can't. There's no way. You know, we have to go get our own patients from the ER. You really think an AI robot's gonna go to the ER and go get this patient from these tight little rooms and spaces and trying to move you around? You know how much damage will happen in a hospital? How much, lawsuits because a AI machine didn't stop on time and hit a patient, walking. We do too much, man. We do too much. Now, they can take over radiologists because radiologists read all day, right? And all radiologists do is sit in a room and look at images. Now AI detects things a lot better for what the technology it has, so it can eventually take over some parts of radiologists. But radiology tech, nah, man, we do way too much. That's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Yeah, and might replace radiologists. Not fully though, because radiologists do a lot. They don't just sit there. They don't just sit in a computer and just read images all day. They have to go do procedures. They have to do intravenous procedures. They have to do like drainages. They have to do biopsies. Like they do a lot, man. So they'll take little pieces of it, but not all the way. There's just no way. Absolutely, Kelly. Anytime, man. If y'all new on here and y'all follow me on TikTok. It's called Juan Radtech, and you can just put Juan Hernandez 863 or 862. Follow me on there, guys. I appreciate that. And also on Instagram, XrayVibes with Juan. Follow me on Instagram. There you can DM me questions, and I'm gonna have the links to the PDFs and digital products that I'm gonna drop. Um, so yeah, man, follow your boy, dude. I'm here just trying to help you guys out there. Cecilia, sonographers, it depends, dude. It depends, like a lot of people get into sonography because like, oh, we want to see babies, we want to see what's going on. And it's, yeah, for the most part, it depends where you work. You get to see a lot of babies, but it's stressful because you're just doing this all day. And what happens is a lot of techs get carpal tunnel and they get like shoulder strains. So that can be a lot on that over time. So that's something to think about. But for the most part, our ultrasound takes happy. I mean, I would think so. Radiology, when you come to radiology, X-rays separated, CT separated, ultrasound is separated. So you really don't know, and you don't really can't tell what they gossip or what they complain about in ultrasound. But for the most part, every modality or every career has their goods and their bads, right? So that's individual. MRI is a little bit more. The easiest one is X-ray. Second easiest is CT, and then the third easiest is MRI. And the only reason MRI is a little harder than X-ray and CT is because patients make MRI hard, because some patients can't stay still, some patients get claustrophobic, they start freaking out, they hit the machine and they freak out. You don't get that in CT, you don't get that in X-ray. So that's what makes MRI hard, you know. Cecilia, yeah, it can be boring. MRI could definitely be boring. Um, and it's dangerous. MRI is very dangerous because it's magnetic. So you have to make sure you have the proper wheelchair, the proper stretcher, the proper oxygen tank. Because anything that's non-magnetic or it is magnetic and you take it in there, it's gonna just suck it right in a hole. And what happens with that is that you can endanger patients, you can kill patients. It's a lot, dude. So, but I don't like MRI. I thought I did, but I was like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, MRI is definitely stressful. It has its moments for sure. For sure, for sure. But all right, fam, it was a blessing to talk to you guys. Make sure to follow me, like I said, on Instagram under XrayVibes with Juan. Follow me on Instagram. I drop my PDFs and digital products on there. You can always DM me questions, man. I'm here to help you, because sometimes when you drop questions on the videos, I'm busy all the time, so it's kind of hard for me to answer them right away. And also follow me on TikTok under Juan Rad Tech, and it's Juan Hernandez 862-863. You'll see this ugly mug on there. Go ahead and follow your boy. But anyway, man, yeah, have a blessed day. And before I leave, Tim, we inject contrast all day, every day, my brother. All day, every day. But yeah, have a blessed day, guys.